Now, isn't that a beautiful view? Welcome back, everybody, to some more Lord of the Rings Online. We are here back in Lake Town, which I found out just absolutely tanks FPS. If you look over here, I drop like half the amount over here, but I prefer the views over here, where not only do I get more frames, but I also can just have a nicer view. I mean, again, look at that. It's beautiful, especially with the water. So, before we get into today's episode, we obviously do have our Hobbit gift of the day, so let's have a quick look at what that's going to be. Daleman's Crumbs. Do they actually scale? I never really paid much attention. It looks like they do, considering we're now level 115. By the way, level 115. That's amazing. Unfortunately, I haven't had much time to go around and get myself some level 115 gear, so we're stuck with what we have for the moment. But we do, I think, have some Rare Madam Hunter's armors on us, and possibly one comparable somewhere down the line as well. While I run away from this guy, I thought I did. Maybe I said that. Oh, no. This gets really not start well for us. But we have some Madam Hunter's armor. We can have a quick little look at the scale, the level, basically, if it's worth going for now. I know for a fact once we get to 116. It jumps up once again, just like from 105 to 106. So, we're definitely going to want to use that at some point. But having a quick look now, we can see it looks like it's actually probably now worth it. Agility isn't that much increased, but Vitality is by quite a decent amount. Might as well put on Howling Wolves as well, kill a few extra wolves as well, get some stuff. I'm mainly obviously worried about this. We're going to still, for the most part, keep this fine Madam Hunter's armor jacket, just because it seems to always potentially be better. I'm going to focus on wolves now, I think, because I want to get the 2 quests done, because why not? And then I think we're heading to Erebor very soon, or at least Dale up here would be preferred. In fact, let us actually get on our steed and head up there. I'm going to go on my regular steed because, well, I mean, it's a bit more controllable, and also I can potentially dismount off it a little bit easier. I mean, they're both the same, but I don't also want to run off a cliff and into the water. And you know how it is. It's a nice, relaxing little walk. But we'll head up to Dale because we need to go up to here anyway, pretty much. And it looks like Howling Wolves and this one are pretty much the same area. Or just generally. That looks like just generally in this area. Like, there's no specific thing, unless I put it to like white and maybe we can see. Nope, it looks like it's just if you find one, you've got one. Whereas with the quest here, it's on the way to Lonely Mountain, so we're obviously not going to want to go back in this area at all. We also have that deed, that's good. But yeah, I haven't really had much time, unfortunately, to go around and get myself level 115 gear. I should have a bit more time tomorrow. I'm not got really much going on, so hopefully I can have maybe just at least a look at what I can do. Plus we can, I think I looked at food, and I think we have to be, I can't remember actually. I think Doomfold is minimum 115 and then Ironfold is 116, so there's potentially food there we can use as well as an upgrade, so that should help us out, which will be good. We're not really seeing that many enemies, I'll be honest. So we might have to keep the Howling Wolves quest separate and just kill what we can on the way here. But we're coming up to Dale now, which is probably... yeah, we're going to focus on these because they will complete both quests, plus also help in the deed, which everything should do. Actually, do they? Many beasts. Okay, it's just a beast slayer. Also, they've got relatively low morale compared to the listed bears. I'm not sure about the boars. I will click on them in a second and have a look. But to me, it just makes sense that we should kill wolves, because if we kill wolves, yeah, they have the same morale, because we'll complete 2 quests while we're going. Now, obviously, we're going to have to kill 1 extra wolf because of the bear we killed, but not going to be a huge deal. We also get some Doomfold hide, so we can potentially use that. Just send that over to a different character. It's obviously a tailor, and hopefully use that. Or, see if someone's able to help us out with crafting some stuff. Some people like to offer their services for crafting as well, so that's always the case in a lot of people do it, you know, you give them the materials if you've got the materials, and a little bit of money, and obviously for the fact that they can, you know, craft something, they're gonna help you out. So if we really need to, we can do something like that. I personally like to just try and do it myself if I can, because then I'm not constantly having to go back and I can be like, oh, I need to craft this, then I'll craft this. But yeah, it's one of those things. I want to try and get like a bit better with my crafting stuff. I always used to set up like a spreadsheet and be like, you know, have all my characters, have all the different types of crafting, have what, and like tick off what my main character for that was. So I'd have like one main character for, you know, each thing. So I wouldn't, you know, even though the professions overlap, I wouldn't have a tailor, two tailors that are like my main tailor. So I'd switch between them. But I kind of slacked. Oh, we've got another soggy page. Let's go have a read, shall we?
Smaug's desolation fell over the Vale. Men fled to Lake Town, and the dwarves fled farther. J.R.R. became known as Girion. His sad and shameful tales spread far and wide.
Okay, so once again, the most important thing in the area.
What can I do for you?
Pick up this. So we can go from Galtrev, or we can go from Minas Tirith, or a lot of different places, and go straight to Lake Town and all these other places that we want. Dol Amroth. I think we can also, yeah, just go from Bree, so that's probably what we're going to do. Do we have much vendor trash? I don't think we do. Bristle fur, rusted scimitars, spiny things. Like we got stony skin and mysterious ear. Other than that, not much. So we're not really going to spend too much time here. We're going to just sort of be passing through, I think, so we can kind of walk out now and go around. There's not really much for us here. We're mainly trying to kill enemies, and it's kind of the perfect time for us to use, I think, Passage of Nature, because they're wolves. Speaking of, there's one here. There is a goat as well. So yeah, 1, 2 there. We'll pick this up. We'll remove this from tracker rather. Yeah, I've been kind of trying, especially with the legendary stuff now, I've never really too much held onto vendor trash. I've just sold it, but it's not a huge deal for us because we're pretty much on level with the areas we are, but at least with that, it's definitely helping us out, just keeping these items, not selling them necessarily, because I'm not really spending money. Like, just due to how the series runs and how we sort of are quite self-sufficient, it means money-wise we're pretty fine, like 425 gold. Because admittedly, I don't really spend much of this, and when I do spend money, it's for my main, which has more on it because it's my main. So we kind of stockpile that. So I'd rather than selling the trash and just, you know, getting a bit more money, I'd rather give it in for experience. Because especially on the legendary server, that's kind of your limiting thing. You only get 60% of the regular XP you'd get. So I'm going to see what it's worth doing here, see if there's like decent enough XP. Because I mean, we're getting about 7k from just the kills. So hopefully, you know, assuming it's about 10 items, that means about 10 kills, that's 70k. I'm not feeling we'll get 70k from a quest, but if as a little bit extra on top of, you know, an extra 70k on top of just killing a couple of enemies definitely sounds useful. Assuming obviously 70k on the low end, because not every animal is guaranteed to drop Bristle's fur, which I think is actually one of them. Yeah, this item must be turned in for tasks. Same with skin, same with these. So we just have to find the tasks, and that might be worth doing. So when we get to Erebor, we'll get the stable master, head back to maybe Lake Town. I don't think if Lake Town's got one. Let's go clear and put on tasks only. It doesn't look like Lake Town does, but Dale does. So we'll take Dale. Actually, even Erebor has a task thing, so that'll actually be perfect. You can see that underneath the stable master. So that's good. There's another wolf over there that'll put us up to. Well, this will put us up to 9 out of 10 on here. And then we can Okay, get this one and this one. Yep. Okay, that's perfect. And then we can rush off to Erebor and see if we can find Authi up there and find this bugtetish thing that we're after. This that we are in looking for, or Kazadar, because that would also be useful. Because maybe he'll know. Well, he supposedly knows, or at least he's thought to be in, like, know about him. Yeah, so travel to the Learning Mountain north of Dale and meet with Authi. Yes, it looks like he's going to be there. We will pull this guy back to the path here and head up. And then we should be good. The mountain just there. The Lonely Mountain. Come on. There we are. Howling Wolves. Some tokens of lake and rivers. Not really sure what I can sell those for, but or use those for rather, like what I can give them in. But it's nice to have them. How many have we got of those now? 25. Doing pretty good. If it's a case of that's how we get a travel skill, then, you know, that could be useful. In fact, that's also another thing we should probably look for is a fellow representative. So men of Dale crafting and reward. So I'm thinking what we might do is get the stable master obviously here. Oh, we've got another bark paper page. Well, that's actually the first one ever. Another page thing for our quest log.
The Battle of 5 Armies, it is called. But there were only 2 sides in that hour. Elves, men, and dwarves against the throngs of evil. Until the eagles came.
Okay, so that looks to be a page we already have. This one, however, I don't think we've got dusty pages yet.
Now, Thror II built anew in Erebor, and Gror, his brother, in the Iron Hills. Our dreams were dead or abandoned, but in time, Smaug the Golden awoke, and to the Lonely Mountain came.
Okay. I feel like one day I just need to go and get all these pages. I know obviously that's not really viable, considering some of them are probably in dangerous areas, especially the ones in Mordor, but they are slowly but surely taking up our areas. So we ideally at some point want to go finish off like a couple of quests. So obviously we're still doing the Black Book of Mordor and get some like Wildermore introduction quest gone somewhere. Chuck that quest out from Istarith. We need to do some Hippold things. Because that can be useful actually later on. But what's more useful now is this Stable Master.
Well met!
There we are. So now we can very easily get back to Dale. We'll also look at this task bulletin board. Don't think I have... Oh, I do. I have enough bristled furs. So I want to have a look at how much that's going to give me. So, we... Oh, I can just look how many it's going to give us because we have enough space. That is going to give us 82,000 XP. So roughly how I thought was going to be about... you know, roughly the same as the amount of XP you get from killing the enemies.
The Cold Drake, Vaethug Wintermind, slayed both King Daeon I and his son Thror. Their great kingdom was lost, and we fled again, tears in our eyes, to return north no more.
Ah, looks like Gandalf is here. For once we're calling him Gandalf, not Mithrandir. Another dusty page. It's a lot of me not talking.
Where dwarves toil tirelessly, dragons sleep. What dwarves have mined and wrought, dragons steal. What dwarves barter and bestow, dragons hoard. Truly, they are our natural foes.
Okay, so... really another one?
And like all of dwarfkind's greatest sorrows, the curse of dragons was brought on by ourselves, and cost us all we dreamed and held most dear.
Okay. So, in fact, that is actually the very first task we've ever completed, it looks like. I never noticed that. I thought I'd already done some, but I guess not. We need to do 100, and that gives us an extra task per day to do. So, that's going to take a long time to get done. Even at 5 a day, that's, 20 days. It's 20 episodes, and that's quite a lot of like killing random stuff. So, and we don't always spend every episode doing that. So, obviously we can go to lower level areas and complete them really, really easily. In fact, they might not even give us XP. So we can go to like Bree or Chetwood and like kill a bunch of stuff, get like 50 of an item, and then just give it in, and that'll be fine. So ideally, if we really want to do it quickly, that's probably our best way, because it won't even get us XP. We can also put the XP tome thing on. In fact, I might think about doing that like on the days like today. Let's say I'm gonna only be able to complete one. I'm gonna probably go to like Bree after this, kill a bunch of stuff, give that in, put the Tome of the Tortoise on, or Stone of the Tortoise, and then come back here, because we can go back to here now from Stable Masters, which helps us out. Nonetheless, though, let's talk to Gandalf here, finally.
At last you arrive. I have been waiting for some time.
Okay, so Authi has told Gandalf about us in Lake Town. Perhaps if you spent less time cruising at taverns and more time riding, we would not kept me waiting so long in the cold. His tone is gruff, but his eyes spark merrily. You and Authi are not the only recent arrivals to the Lone Mountain. You'll find a number of old friends inside, each of them brought hither from concern. Find them on the way to the throne of the hall under the mountain, and you may learn their purpose matches our own. One more thing, in these lands I am known as Gandalf, and not Mithrandir. Let it not confuse you. Find the visitors Gandalf mentioned on the way to the throne in the hall under the mountain. So here he's known as Gandalf, everywhere else they're calling him Mithrandir. So, no confusion. Oh, now it's all quiet. There's an enemy or two, it seems. Some burrowers. That's not a huge deal. We can get all our steeds on it, looks like. Yep, it's not just goats. It's not like Moria. And once again, a large area. Oh, this is a very nice area. We've got a task place in there, milestone, an auction hall. This is actually very, very nice. Right, so this is apparently 22,000 meters away. This is how quick we're going to go there. There we are. 22,000 meters in just a moment. Rider to Mord. Oh, that's also very, very useful. I wonder if there's one of those that allows us to come back. Maybe we should try that at the end of today's episode, just to see where it puts us. Because then if we need to get to Mordor, then that'll be easy. And now we can only have our goats, because why not? Right, there's a lot of stuff down here. Okay, a number of Thorin Oakenshield's surviving companions have come to Erebor. Dory, Dwaylen, Gloin.
It has been some time since we have all gathered here.
Okay.
My travels do not bring me home very often.
Today made the mountains chief horde seeker. Okay.
I prefer when things are simple.
So do I, but it never seems to happen. You just appeared out of nowhere.
I do not know what has caused this decline, but I see some possibilities.
Okay, neither do I know whether the entombment of the Arkenstone. Neither do I know whether entombing the Arkenstone with Thorin Oakenshield is to blame for it, but my suspicion that it is not. There is enough possibility, and in it I see workings of our enemy. What if the Arkenstone was taken from the tomb of Thorin without knowledge of the dwarves? It may be the Arkenstone no longer lies with Thorin Oakenshield. Its departure was adversely affecting the skills of Durin's folk. The tomb must be opened if we are to ensure that Arkenstone remains within. We must ask King Thorin III for permission to do this. We just want to have a look. Alright? Just have a little look. We're gonna ask him. You're T-posing. I do love me a good T-pose. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. I love me some T-poses. That's always fun. Oh, and another one. This is the best T-pose area ever. Jack and Jack is like the main one I always talk about, if I ever say it. Alright. We'll get this dusty page first.
Time went, and our dreams of the North would not die. So yet again, in the days of Thorin the First, to the grey mountains we ventured again.
Okay, King Thorin the Third.
Can Gandalf combat this worrying decline in our craft skill?
Well, that's what we're hoping for. Yeah, I do not know that can be done about it. Dame before me also did not have a solution. Do you and Gandalf have a suggestion? I'm willing to hear any proposal. I'm not confident any solution could be found.
You wish to open the tomb of Thorin Oakenshield?
Yes. Just open it, see it's there, and then go. None could have breached the tomb without our knowledge, and yet, even if I speak these words, I'm gripped with uncertainty. If the heart of the mountain has been taken, it might explain the diminishing of our craft skill. The king under the mountain strokes his beard thoughtfully. I alone cannot give you leave to open the tomb. Though I am king under the mountain, possess lordship of all that lies within. It would not be proper to open Mazel our Acres without permission of Thorin's sister. Her sister also lie in that place, and I would not have their rest or that of our brother disturbed without her leave. She is the keeper of Raven Hill, and that is where you'll find her. Speak to her and learn if she is allowing you to open it. Okay. We will do that in the next episode. We'll talk to Mithrandir. Well, not even Mithrandir. I'm going to get it wrong. We'll not talk to Gandalf until next episode, and check that. I meant to take that off my tracker. I talked to Gandalf by the throne. We'll do that. But what I want to do before we get into that is check this whole thing. Are you T-posing as well? Or are you the one I said about? No, there's 3 T-posing. It's always lovely. I wonder if I can find more. What I do want to do, though, is... Oh, this is actually quite nice. You've got a crafting area, an auctioneer, a mailbox, a barber, a visioner, a splendor of enchantment, vendor dealings, motes of enchantment, and yeah, that's always lovely.
In days.
All this stuff for 115, you can see. In fact, we can actually have a look. Medium agility armor. Stuff like that's pretty good. Plus Light of Arendelle, so that's pretty good, but obviously is quite expensive. So... we need more motes of enchantment. I don't really know the best way of getting motes of enchantment, I'll be completely honest, except from deconstructing stuff that I luckily get. But I mean, that's better because we also get a load of fate, a lot more agility, and a lot more vitality as well. It's definitely better, it's just affording it that's our issue. And then you can also get... Can we get... Yeah, agility... what am I trying to say? Jewelry. That's what I'm trying to say. But for jewelry, I do think I'm going to do some epic battles alongside it as well, just to obviously do what I can there. But it seems that everything is pretty much where we want it to be.
Is there aught what you need?
Some of this stuff for some sets. Let's see. Yeah, medium X. This thing. Good stuff. Again, whether or not we can afford it. That stuff's cheaper. This stuff is like obviously more expensive.
Dwarves must
Relic Master
fight for dwarves.
for relics and stuff. But nonetheless, yeah, also more stuff. Any rep guys, I'm not sure. But let's have a look at this guy, see where he takes us, and then we'll finish off for the day. Okay, so very simply back here. Now I'm interested to see whether or not there's anyone in here that can take us there. We do get rewards.
Let us not tarry.
So I guess this is also a good way of us looking at the armor that we can potentially get. But we need to be friend with the Gorgoroth lot, and we haven't done that yet. That's our issue, because the quests that we had weren't giving us reputation, whereas these will. But there's also tasks, which obviously, as I said, I'm going to go to Bree for, but it doesn't look like we can get back any standard way. Can we buy our way back?
Come.
Now, no, it doesn't look like it, but we can go to Bree from here, actually, it seems. So I'm obviously not going to do spending 122 silver. I'm just going to swift travel back, and then we'll go back to Chetwood, kill a bunch of stuff, just not getting XP, given some tasks, so we have that deed going through, so we can slowly do more and more, and then we'll meet you back. Well, at Raven Hill. Actually, no, we need to talk to Gandalf first, and then we got to go to Raven Hill. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.